Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3 faction war this is, Angstrom Heights and Space Marines versus Imperial Guard. Someone's been naughty then. On the blue team, the Tenso with a Techmarine starts off with a bolt gun, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Alongside is this fella that I couldn't find a translation for that made any sense, unfortunately. They're playing a Force Commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support some Blood Ravens. And rounding off this team, Overtly gemerous is an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat. By default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. The red guard team, ShaFex with an Inquisitor offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. And double Lord Commissars alongside. We've got Sergeant Smith with the Death Quarter of Krieg, and we have cringeberry, also known as Seraph. Looks like they're rocking Armageddon Steel Legion elite scheme recolored here maybe. These guys fight in melee combat with strong offense and support, and they begin with this refractor shield that you see. These guys' jobs early on is basically to tie up the tactical marines, and they're both in on this squad of the Force Commander here, which is what we're going to have to call him, I'm afraid. Popping some battle cries. Sentinel already low for Seraph. All three guard players going for the Sentinel early on. Probably into Catachans, or at least a couple of them, but we shall see. Apothecary getting smacked on the ground. Force Commander sees off some guardsmen, but does get seen off himself. We got a Lord Commissar here in amongst scouts rather than tacks. I think they should stay on the tacks to stop them firing those 14 DPS bolt guns. That guy gets away. Not sure this Commissar's going to get away though. That's a lot of bolt guns that can shoot at him. I don't think he's going to get out of there. Should get revived in the mid though. Down they go. Any ground pounds up in the mid here? No. Oh, ShaFex has it, but they are not quite in the mid. They're with a flank actually. Stomp on the Techmarine there. Meanwhile, Apothecary in amongst some guardsmen. Guardsmen pretty bad in melee, so certainly a hero is going to give them a bad time. We have Flamer up to the Tactical Marines. Bad news for clumps of guardsmen who can also power bash very effectively. We see the red Imperial Guard team's power right there, so maybe they can get on it. Dropping a model though. I don't think they're going to be able to. And this guy's getting a ground pound. What about you? No ground pound here. Catachan Devils starting to hit the field though. In fact, all three guard players getting Catachan Devils up. Seraph and Sergeant Smith already have theirs. Very versatile infantry that can threaten units in melee, especially heavy infantry with their power melee knives. Good disruption and some support abilities as well. There's their grenade launcher, knocking those tactical marines flying, setting up an approach for the Lord Commissar here. Throws up his shield. Not a lot of hit points on Commissars by default, only 600, which is pretty low for a melee hero. Of course, the shield makes all the difference. We've got shotguns for the scouts of the Force Commander player, and they have Devastators up. The Tenso with Assault Squad can jump on you and disrupt. There it is. Mostly just hit the Catachans though. Maybe going after this clump would have been better. There's a shotgun blast for suppression and knockback. Shotgun blast from the scouts though as well. Getting a lot of disruption there. And the Chainsword Storm Shield combo. Well, I say combo, it's one piece of war gear for the Force Commander, giving the awesome defend ability. Good versus blobs of ranged fire, which is what they're facing here mostly. Stomp on the Assault Squad there. Hammer of the Witches from the Inquisitor. What's going on in the northeast? The power is blue up here and genned up. And this is scouts, I assume. Those are scouts from Overtly with sergeant and shotguns. Trying to get on the VP. There you see the defend, slows down units but breaks suppression and gives damage resistance to ranged weapons. Stomp. Came in nice and sharp there, did Sergeant Smith to get that off. Commissar still down. Inquisitor trying to put pressure on the power maybe. Eats a shotgun to the face though. Has her own Catachans here who've got a decap on the VP. Overtly gemerous, I think, is yep. Just finished a cap on red team's natural. Force Commander runs. Meanwhile, back towards the southwest where we have these natural powers. More west for the red team there, and more south for the blue team over there. trying to get it with flame attacks was overtly generous. Don't think they got anything done, but they could have been repurchased over here. And the Commissar's down. This is Seraph. Sergeant Smith back to his feet. I think they were repurchased rather than revived, but I could be wrong. ShaFex in retreat there. Gonna see a revive here though. May need spotters, says Sergeant Smith, because of the devastators that bit the field. These guys in retreat though, and the Tensos have set up in the mid with advanced targeting vengeance rounds tearing through those guardsmen. Scouts reinforcing, moving up on the Sentinel, do decent damage at close range, as you can see. Sentinels have heavy infantry armor, so despite being vehicles, you can take them down with small arms fire, which of course makes a lot of sense given they are tier 1. Bunker tried to go up, but was either cancelled or those guys got in the way of it and it couldn't develop anymore. Heavy weapons squad up here for ShaFex with a relatively heavy tier 1 from them. They got Holy Brazier, Rosarius, the ground pound, they got Catechins up, and the heavy weapons squad. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Holy Pyre doing its thing, damage over time and a debuff. What is it again? 20% damage reduction. Doesn't give you the red debuff circles though, unfortunately. That caused some kind of issue when they tried to do it, I believe. Apothecary with Sanguine Chainsword and Purification Rites. Not what we usually see from overtly gemerous. Typically you see the customized Stormbolter into the armor of Apothecarian and improved medical equipment. Sentinels very close to going down the Kraken bolts of the tactical marines, doing extra damage to heavy infantry armor, which is what the Sentinel uses, of course. So you can burst it down if you have a couple of packs that pop their Kraken bolts. Of course, Commander getting some patches and death. I think he killed that fella there. No attempt of the assault marines to jump, but they're going for the power. You guys have flamers? No flamers here. This Sentinel's pretty low though. Improvised explosive could go off on his attacks here. Got their sergeant up in tier 2 already. Another improvised explosive right there. Of course, one gets knocked over. Explosive goes off. Doesn't take a model off the tactical marines, but did a bunch of damage to them. And they're getting close to the other one too. I think it's worth setting it off there. There we go. Nope. That was the All Reliable, which I think set off the explosive, but only once they've been knocked away from it. Manticore on the field for Sergeant Smith. All the players going or in tier 2. Of course, Commander already has a Whirlwind up. Manticore Strike here, the first one. And the first Manticore Strike is often the most important because after that they're going to be a bit more lively and wary of it. Tactical Marines getting knocked around, trying to go for that power bash. They've struggled to get it done though. Catechin Devils on them in melee. We do see armor of the Apothecarian for the Apothecary, the advanced healing, and they do have Purification Rites is what they have. 480 to 220, multi-laser turret, trying to cover this VP here. Deter some of those scout decaps, I guess. Very determined to get this power bash. Is overtly gemerous. They are going to be tied up and disrupted though. 2-to-1 cap here. Pupping and they show no fear. Stomp goes in. Very, very determined, but they are eventually persuaded to leave the power alone. Back towards the mid. Techmarine's been standing around shooting stuff a lot. No war gear for them. Holy Brazier Inquisitor trying to get in amongst the assault squad. Gets a good special there, and there is a sail from the Excruciators. Should have thrown the Catechins into melee earlier there. Got some decent damage. Assault squad do have their sergeant with the power sword and merciless strike though. Commissar's found some devastators. This is Sergeant Smith, no war gear. Gets rid of them. Could get on the power here. Good opening for the power, I think. Inquisitor goes for the VP decap. Still level 1. Scouts, maybe deterred by the turret, or they want to mess with some guardsmen. Grenade. Decent grenade. Tried to move out of it. Kind of got more into it. And it killed 4 fellas. Yeah, and the guardsmen need to run from that. Back towards the mid. Lord Commissar gets the VP cap rolling. Bane Wolf on the field for ShaFex. come and assist with this power bash, maybe? No, looks like he wants to bash the northeast. Can't cap it, of course. Back to southwest. Force Commander, popping defend. The double attacks alongside. Plasma gun on these fellas. And Overtly Gemerous goes tier 3, as we've seen time and time again, with just scouts and tactical marines. They somehow make it work. 456 to 176. Sentinel missile launcher play from Seraph. Maybe Crack could go in and they could chase down the whirlwind here. Might be thinking of it. Oh, Crack missile got a direct hit on the Force Commander. That's a bit lucky. What is this? It's Plasma Guardsmen ready to trade efficiently with tactical marines, but Devastators changed that fight up quite dramatically, as you may expect, getting suppressed. Means they can't shoot stuff. Heavy weapon squad getting jumped there. Don't have their little shield thing. Again, they'll very, very quickly force guardsmen to retreat, getting in their face like this. No sentinel or pathogens to counter-initiate there. No Ogryns either. The Tenso also goes tier 3, actually before Overtly. And look at all the stuff Tenso got up. Double devs, assault squad, upgraded scouts, sergeant even on the tax, and he's still got tier 3 this fast. Wow. And they're on the power quick. Might get a full bash actually. And they have had this power for a lot of the game genned up. Bane Wolf is messing it up now. Also got a bash over here, looks like. Meanwhile, the tier 3s are in though. What are they going to do about this? I guess Plasma Guardsmen and the Inquisitor are decent ways to at least start to deal with Terminators. And you can of course get vehicle counters in tier 2. You can fight a tier 3 army with a tier 2 army. It'll be sure nice to have some Lehman Russes if a Land Raider Redeemer shows up. Overtly Gemerous tends to get the Terminators first, I believe. And then they also tend to be quite aggressive with their Land Raiders. Apothecary gets a decap maybe. Trying to move around so he can't be easily hit by the Inquisitor. Not sure they're going to get it done. Missile launch attacks. Almost getting the Bane Wolf down to 11 hit points. Inquisitor still going after him. Pops a heal. Gets a special. No knockdown because of the Rosarius. And now the Inquisitor goes for the attacks. Who do get the decap with that 50% faster capping trait. Which of course does affect decaps as well. And they show no fear. It's popped, but while you're capping or decapping, you do not fight back in melee. You will shoot your ranged weapons though. Can she get a model here off these guys? Nope. Now she's been knocked over. Here come Plasma. Fully upgraded guardsmen here with their Commissar as well. Surely they can get a model off these guys. There we go. Down goes one of the attacks. Bane Wolf has been repaired up for ShaFex. And the Inquisitor gets a decap again on the Blues Natural. 347 to 357 on the VPs. Power bashing in the southwestern area against Red Team's Natural. But so is this one being bashed. Lots of power bashes actually at the end of tier 2, start of tier 3. Speaking of tier 3, Sergeant Smith is almost there. Got double Stormtroopers up. One with assault kit, one without. Big changes for Stormtroopers, of course, in 298, which is the latest version of the mod. You should go and check it out. This is a 297 game. Stormtroopers now have an upfront power cost, I believe. Terminators jumping in, or being called in by Overtly Gemerous. Stormbolters and Power Fists by default can get some nice weapon upgrades as well. Can't be suppressed. Very, very tough, just kind of walking through this stuff casually to the VP. A lot of DPS on those Stormbolters as well. They inspire on kill. So if you can quickly kill weak models, get a lot of inspiration built up. Bane Wolf is back here to harass. The Inquisitor very quickly getting straight onto the attack so they can't fire the missile launcher. Ken Cannon, I believe it's called, the weapon that this thing uses. It's a good damage. Didn't drop a model though, those guys. Scouts got the VP. Not sure what the Apothecary is doing. Trying to smack the Bane Wolf. There's a sail on the Scouts. And this is really well played by ShaFex. Huge amounts of harassment on that VP. And they're keeping Overtly gemerous occupied as well. Although I don't know where the Terminators are. Looks like they backed off. Got a Power Claw Lord Commissar that he took from a very, very small war boss. A war boss in training or something. And then goes down. Level 2. That's Seraph's Lord Commissar. Down to just 2 units on the field actually. Guess they had a few rough engagements. They've dropped some mines over here. Cyclone Missile Launcher aiming at the Bane Wolf. The spread does increase with range though, so trying to hit stuff really far away can be tough. Tenso is floating, so I assume they want that Land Raider Redeemer. Some inspirations on kill. You see all the yellow buff circles there. Scouts are getting back their VP. Looks like the Space Marines have had enough with the harassment on that VP. 220 to 142. We do have a medical bunker up to reinforce and slowly heal nearby infantry. Tier 3 for Seraph, down to a Stormtrooper squad. 202 to 142 on the VPs. It's pretty damn close. And if it wasn't for ShaFex harassing the hell out of that VP, they might not be in this decent position here, the Guard. If they can get their tier 3 rolling, that is. Attacks popping their missile at the Bane Wolf there. Inquisitor needs to get on them. Pops the Holy Pyre. And a grenade goes in as well. Almost wiped those tactical marines, you know. Almost got them. They're holding the mid. And the Guard can hold contested VPs very well in a 3v3. Down goes the Devastators. Those guys had a las cannon 177 to 142. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for the Tenso, but they've lost quite a lot of stuff here. Going for Bane Blade, says Sergeant Smith. Saying that he needs a bunch more requisition first. Not sure that's a great idea. I'd probably go for the Lehman Russes, but I mean, just one shot from this Cyclone Missile Launcher would mess up a Bane Blade quite a lot. And then he could get in with Power Fists and stuff. Lehman Russ would be a little bit more difficult to hit and a little bit quicker. Manticore's still doing alright though, isn't it? Terminators, more Terminators, this time from the Force Commander player. Power Fisting the Heavy Weapons Squad away. They did have an autocannon. Triple cap now for the Guard. Can they hold on? Imperial Guard. No Lehman Russes yet though. Manticore Strike. Don't think hit very much stuff. We did have a Sacred Standard Force Commander. Full on buff mode. None of these guys have a missile launcher, although the Stern Guard of the Force Commander could be using Vengeance rounds to put pressure on the Bane Wolf there. Bane Wolf's been awesome. Inquisitor's been awesome as well. So he's only level 3. It's so difficult to kill Space Marine models. We'd be cool if he got some XP for like damage dealt or something, a small amount of it at least. 77 to 142. Lord Commissar getting stuck into those Devastators, then runs away very quickly. Aura of Discipline is up. These guys going for the Manticore, I think. There's the Cyclone Missile Launcher. Oh, hits the... oh, they're going for the bunker wipe, I see. That would have wiped any squad that was inside of it. And we have a heavy Flamer Terminator squad for the Force Commander. Land Raiders on the field now. Is this the turning point for the Space Marines? A couple of Terminator squads. Land Raider Redeemer, which gives you such amazing infield reinforcement and presence. Can retreat back to that thing and reinforce. Decent Manticore Strike. Inquisitor's down. They need the Inquisitor up to help deal with these Terminators. She should get revived from there though pretty easily. In fact, might be revived immediately by Sergeant Smith, who seems determined to get the Bane Blade up. We'll see how it does. We'll see if it's worth the wait. ShaFex hits tier 3. Well, soonish in a way. Sergeant Smith's sneaky Stormtroopers looking for a VP decap, I imagine. Space Marines have played their hand. And it's a good one. It's Terminators and a Land Raider. What are you going to do about this, red team? You got some Kashyyykin plasma guns in. No anti-armor stormtroopers that I see. Manticore could do massive damage to a Land Raider. Land Raider, by the way, has pushed all the way up for the Tenso. It's a power bashing Land Raider. What are you guys doing? Oh, you're getting harassed by scouts, were you? Well, they're decapping now. Looks like an assault squad and one of the heroes is on them. Got a full power bash there. Baneblade on the way for Sergeant Smith. Is it the right call? They do have, especially if you count the power fists on the 2 Terminator squads, a fair amount of anti-vehicle, not to mention the Techmarine can get orbs and his melter gun. But they have 3 guardsmen to help repair the Baneblade. Heavy weapon squad on the way for ShaFex. Wants to get a las cannon probably to help deal with the Land Raider. Inquisitor needs to be careful. We don't want her going down and she goes down. Got too close. The Devastators did not have her Rosarius up. Sergeant asking for rocket runs. They don't have any. That was a Hell Fury though, dropped in by ShaFex. Nuke bait as Land Raiders can be. Triple cap though for Space Marines. Oh, the Baneblade is not even going to get on the field. Wow. Wasn't keeping an eye on the VPs. Looks like the Apothecary did get the customized Stormbolter. They were just a bit slow. A bit slow in tier 3 here, these in Imperial Guard. This power did a lot for the Space Marine team up here in the northeast. The Bane Wolf was cool though. Just maybe didn't come out soon enough. And waiting for the Baneblade I think was a mistake, although who knows whether a Lehman Russ would have survived this. It's so difficult to deal with this. They kind of cover all bases with Terminators and a Land Raider. Especially with those heroes doing their thing. Well, there you have it guys. It was a short one, but very close and pretty tense. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war organised, of course, by the Tenso. And I'll see you next time.